I am Jerry Azuma, and this is To The Points, focused on primetime NFL matchup previews and bets. All right, guys, we have a doubleheader for Monday Night Football. First up, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel to Houston to see the Texans. The Houston Texans are currently favored by 2.5 points, and the total for this contest is at 42.5 points. Now, the Texans are home looking for their first win of the season. Last week, the offense wasn't clicking as they normally do, and they only put up 9 points, which is very uncharacteristic. Now, they'll look to rebound, but they need to clean some things up, especially with the interior part of their offensive line. Now, the Bucs squeaked by the Falcons thanks to a missed field goal by Wk2 late in that ball game. Now, Baker was cooking. He tossed 3 touchdown passes, and the Bucs, they'll look to add to their win total. But this game won't be easy. It's definitely going to be challenging, and they'll have to play better than they did last week on the road to snatch this win. All right, guys, let's get to the matchup. Now, I'm a fan of Baker Mayfield, and he's found himself in a great situation with Tampa. Now, offensively, they have a savvy veteran leadership core, especially starting with Mike Evans. Look for the Baker-Evans connection to continue. Now, Baker will be in situations where he'll have to make plays however he can. He has to be able to sustain and convert drives. He and his offense cannot afford to stall or go 3 and out repeatedly. It's imperative that they stay on that field and do work. Now, the main problem Tampa Bay faces is how to slow down the Texas defensive line. This line is easily one of the best in the business, and they get after the quarterback. Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter, they lead the way, bringing intense pressure off that edge. If Tampa Bay's line can win up front and give Baker some time, then he will have an opportunity to cook the Texans secondary. Now, they are known to give up chunk plays, and if Baker can find Evans or Ibuka, who's actually come on very strong last week, then you can count on points going on the board. But first things first, slow down the Texans' pass rush. Now, on the flip, the Texans' offense did not look good in their first game, only putting up 9 points against the Rams. No touchdowns and terrible on third down is the recipe for losing, which they got. Now, to get back on track, the Texans, they need to be effective and efficient on offense, eliminate turnovers, convert on third down, and basically be strong in the run game. Now, one way the Texans can attack the Bucs defensively is by dumping the ball off to the running backs. This is essentially a long handoff, and the Bucs struggle with backs in space. Now, the big issue for the Texans is that their interior offensive line has struggled picking up stunts. So I expect the Bucs to show blitz and bring many defensive stunts throughout the game. Now, the Bucs, they also are solid against the run, and this is going to be a great matchup to watch tonight. Now, let's get right to the points. Mike Evans is Baker's go-to guy, so put some change on him going over 4.5 total catches. Now, Baker is a baller, and he finds ways to throw touchdown passes, so put some change on him going over 1.5 touchdown passes tonight. Now, in the end, I anticipate the Texans offensively to play better than they did last week. However, the interior offensive line, they have a problem, and the Bucs can make things difficult up front. Now, because of this, I think this game stays close, and I like the Bucs to cover the 2.5 point spread. Okay, on to the second Monday Night Football matchup. The Chargers take a trip to Vegas to see the Raiders. The Chargers are currently a 3.5 point favorite, and the total is at 46.5 points. Okay, now both teams, they pulled down victories to open the season. The Bolts, they will try to get a win in the States after giving the Chiefs the business in Rio. Now let's get right to the matchup. Now the Chargers, they have the offense rolling behind Justin Herbert. He threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdown passes. Now, to his committee of wide receivers, that includes Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, and McConkey. And they're really good. But the key matchup is going to be in the trenches between Joe Alt and Max Crosby. Herbert, he needs time in the pocket, and Crosby, he has the ability to wreck the pocket quickly. Now, this dude is incredible, and he has a motor that is relentless on every single play. Now, I anticipate the Bolts running back Omarion Hampton, who's a rookie, will get a heavy workload to try to slow this defensive line down and respect the run. Now, this will be very important because the Bolts' overall offensive success depends on this. Now, because Crosby has such a high motor, I anticipate quick throws to McConkey, especially in the slot. And the goal for the Chargers will be to be productive on early downs and convert on third down and short with quick 3-step drops. Now, on the flip, Geno Smith and Chip Kelly, they will air the ball out deep downfield. They have an ace in tight end Brock Bowers, and he had over 100 yards receiving last week. So look for his targets to increase this evening. He is extremely valuable to the team's success, and I trust that Chip will design plays to get him the ball in space. Now look for running back Ashton Genty to have over 20-plus carries. The Chargers defense, they love turning up the pressure and getting physical, and I anticipate the Raiders trying to make some approach of a smash-mouth football game early to set the tone. Now, last week, wide receiver Jacoby Myers, he's reliable and he is an extremely fast target, especially downfield, and he creates a lot of separation. The Chargers secondary needs to be fundamentally sound when defending him. The ball will be aired out and the Chargers secondary will be tested deep. This will be a great matchup to watch, and this has a lot of potential for explosive plays. Now, let's get right to the points. There are big expectations for Genty to be productive on the ground. The Chargers defense is playing with a lot of confidence and they're flying around making plays. I anticipate they try to minimize Genty, so put some change on him going under 70 rushing yards. Now, I believe that there will be points on the board, but I don't see the total going over. So put some change on the under 46.5 points hitting. Now, in the end, I feel like the Chargers are the more complete and fundamentally sound team. I like what they did in Rio, making plays when they had to. They also get a couple more days of rest. You know what? That's why I'm going to roll with them to cover the spread and win on the road. All right, guys, this is To The Points. Thank you for listening, and make sure to follow.